What's up, Epic 7? We're a couple of days away from our beach vacation. Now, wolves may love metal, but they also love the ocean. Man, I miss the beach. Well, to help with my longing for surf, sand, and scenery, Epic 7 is taking us back to Tarev Island in a couple of days for the return of a Midsummer's Paradise, more commonly known as the Lethe event. Now, some are asking if it's confirmed that we're running into another Lethe event. Yes, it basically is. This image from the YouTube video shows the event, a Midsummer Paradise, is returning, and that event is the Lethe event. I mean, sure, there's a story and some other aspects to it, but the entire thing centers around the gear farming event. It would be incredibly difficult for them to remove that aspect from a Midsummer's Paradise. So, here we are, just a few weeks after Overlord gave us the exact same event, rolling into another Lethe-style event. Right after a hunt buff weekend, too. I hope you guys save some leaves. For those who are new and don't understand how this works, I'll go over it real quick. Now, these are screenshots from last season, so I can't guarantee the sets will be the same this time around, but the event will be broken up into two halves. The first half will be open for all 3 weeks, and the second half will be open for weeks 2 and 3. In each section, you will be able to farm the event and earn currency, and this currency can be used to purchase items from the shop, like a really nice background image for your lobby, also to buy things out of the shop, and to also craft epic gear. Now, you don't get to choose the substats or the main stats, but you do get to choose the set, and it's guaranteed to be epic red gear. This is the fastest, best way to get top-end gear. And something it has that other things like Hunt Buff and Rift don't have is this is a gold positive event. And by that, I mean you will be able to get all of this epic level gear and turn a profit on gold. You see, when you work a Hunt Buff over, you've got to alternate between your Hunt Buff crafting and running things like Unrecorded History or some other way to get gold, because crafting is expensive. This is free, and it gives a lot of gold. It just costs event currency. It doesn't cost you any gold to craft this event. So Reddit posts be damned, this is hands down the best way to get the specific type of gear you need to advance your account faster than any other method. So any leaves you have saved up, any stamina you've got sitting in your inbox, you want to spend it on this event. As to which week is best to farm, well, that just depends. Look at the sets you have. Look at all the sets that are offered in both halves of the event and farm which one is the one you need the most. Now, I want to put some concerns aside. One of the questions I've been asked is, are we sure this isn't going to be the same as last season, where the imprints are practically required to farm this event? I can guarantee you it will not be like last season. They promised us in writing that they would never monetize imprints like this again. I mean, they tried to monetize imprints in a slightly different way with Awakened Potential, but that went over like a fart in church, and that was reversed too. The predatory monetization of imprints last year was so aggressively hated that they reversed it very, very quickly and made the second half of the event a much kinder, gentler version that was accessible to everyone, whether or not they had imprints or even the unit. Now, China server, they were 2 weeks behind us, and they got to have both weeks be the kinder, gentler version, and that's probably the version that all of us will get this year. That brings us to, how can you get these units? Well, unlike last year, instead of individual banners, they're going to run a triple banner. Now, I'm really, really hopeful, big copium here, guys, really hopeful that this will be like a Mystic Summon where you can target select the unit that you want to summon for, but most likely it's going to be a triple banner in the style of the custom summon banners, where these units will all be on banner at the same time, and every single summon you do, you will get 1 currency. Now, that 1 currency can be stocked up, and for 100 currency, you'll be able to buy the artifact from the shop, or for 120 currency, you'll be able to buy a unit from the shop. Now, while pulling, you can get a 5-star, and if it's a 5-star unit, it's guaranteed to be one of these 3 units. If it's an artifact, well, off-banner artifacts can still happen, which is horrible, but it is what it is. At least there is a higher chance that it will be one of these 3 artifacts. At least so they tell me. Now, I am not a fan of the triple banner for this type of event because it makes it very difficult for you to target the unit or artifact that you're missing or want the most. But this is how they seem to handle limited reruns. Now, some people have asked me, who should I get and how many of the artifacts should I have? Well, first, let's talk about Cerise. The sun has really set on Cerise. She doesn't have much use outside of expeditions and the occasional niche event like Hall of Trials or Advent. Her kit is pretty good, she just doesn't have the speed to compete with modern openers. If you don't have Cerise, don't feel like you need to have Cerise. She is entirely skippable. Next is Ocean Breeze Luluca. Ocean Breeze Luluca is still one of the strongest healing soul weavers in the game. She's loaded with debuffs, strips, and her healing is amazing, plus her art and animation is fantastic. If you play competitive Epic 7, I think you want to have Ocean Breeze Luluca on your team. Even if you can only pull one unit from this banner, she is the one to get. Last is Lethe. Lethe used to be a force in RTA. She is still somewhat usable, but so many things work against her kit now that she has become harder and harder to draft. She's still very strong in Guild Wars, but that's about it. I hate to say it, but although she is more important than Cerise, if you don't get her, that's not really a problem. You can live a perfectly happy competitive life without this unit on your team. You know, at least until Smilegate buffs Cerise and Lethe, so there's that. Now let's talk about the artifacts. First and least important is Prayer of Solitude. Prayer of Solitude was simply power crept by Laya's artifact in almost every case. Now, don't get me wrong, 10% extra health and extra damage when you do extra attacks, that is still useful, but it's kind of niche. The units it's best on, like Shu and maybe Alencia, they typically have other artifacts they would rather run. So, outside of putting it on Lethe herself, I don't think you're going to find a tremendous number of uses for this artifact, as there are typically just better options available. Warriors are loaded with really good artifacts. But hey, if you luck sack into one, that's great. But I wouldn't go out of my way to chase this one down. Next is Luluca's artifact, Soul Consolation. Soul Consolation is really, really good on a handful of Soul Weavers. I think one is plenty, but if you can pick up a second one, it does have some other uses that are great. The effect resistance stat stick on this and the CR pushing is really, really clutch. I have 3 of this artifact. I only use 2 of them. I think as long as you have 1 of this artifact, you'll be fine. If you pick up a second one, great. And of course, the artifact everybody wants multiples of, Guiding Light. Guiding Light is a must-have for the majority of ranger classes in this game, and there are like 50 rangers in this game. So how many of these do you want? 6 would be ideal, I think. More than 6 makes you future-proof, but yeah, if you can get dupes on this artifact, don't fuse them. Having it at plus 15 is so good. Having 3 of them at plus 15 is so much more important than having 1 of them at plus 21. So get as many of these as you can and maybe stop around 5 or 6 and then start working on imprinting it. Every time Cerise's banner pops up, I try to get another Guiding Light from the powder shop. Even if you want to save your bookmarks, and I'll get into why you want to save your bookmarks in just a minute here. Even if you want to save your bookmarks, maybe you should pick up a Guiding Light. Now, maybe you want to save your bookmarks because you already have all of these units and all you need is some artifacts. Well, if that's your case, if all you want is the artifacts, do 1 single pull. Not a 10 pull, just a single pull. And the reason for that is the instant you do a single pull on this banner, it goes live for you. And that means all 3 of the artifacts will immediately show up in the powder shop. So if you have powder to spend, this is a way you can get another Guiding Light, maybe an additional Soul Consolation. As for the rest of you, triple banners can be devastating. Sometimes you'll get lucky. You'll get 2 of the units for free on the way, and on the way to Pity, and then you can buy the 3rd unit. Sometimes you get the exact artifact you need, and sometimes you go all the way to 100 pulls and all you got is some off-banner piece of garbage. I'm not trying to convince anyone to spend, but I want you guys to be aware there is a lot to save for, especially if you're free to play. For example, we know the China anniversary unit is right around the corner because China server's anniversary is right around the corner. We know there's a new limited fan art unit, Flan, that will be out before the end of the year. We know that Galililius, who is a powerhouse unit, is going to be rerun at some point in the near future. We know that Child Senya from the World Cup Championship will be introduced very soon. It's very, very likely we'll have an autumn collab. I know we went almost an entire year without any collabs, but Epic 7 traditionally has had 2 to 3 collabs every year, and we're only 1 collab in. So expect Full Metal Alchemist rerun, or maybe something brand new. Also, October usually has a limited unit. I mean, maybe that'll be Child Senya, maybe not, we'll have to see. But if you add it all up, it's between 9 and 12 limited units before the end of the year. That's 1.5 to 2 limited units every single month until the end of the year, on average. So really consider how important these 3 units on this banner are, and versus what is coming down the road, and whether or not you're free to play. Epic 7, like all gacha games, is a game of resource management. Triple banners are very resource intensive banners. So that said, let me know if you plan to pull on this banner and who you plan to pull for. Let me know what you're excited for in the near future. Tell me in the comment section below. If you have any questions about this banner or this event, or anything in general with regards to Epic 7, join my Discord, also linked in the description, or ask away in the comment section. I do my best to answer. Don't take it personally if I miss your question. I have the attention span of a goldfish. And what was I talking about? Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Have a great one, everybody.